This build blends the lethal strikes of the assassin with potent toxins. Leverage the assassin's expertise in surprise attacks to deal massive initial damage with poison. I used Astarion as my main character for this build, and it worked well with his character. Hello guys, Genuine here of Genuine Gaming, and here is my Venomous Assassin build for Baldur's Gate 3. This is not an overpowered build but a thematic one. You can play this build in honor mode. If you find this video helpful, do not forget to like, and for more Baldur's Gate 3 videos, subscribe to the channel. Overview. So the idea of the build is that he has an assassin playstyle. That would mean he will have a rogue class with the assassin as his subclass. The assassin subclass is known for its assassinate ability, allowing him to deal critical damage when his enemies are surprised, making them masters of swift and deadly strikes. The class that complements well with the assassin is the ranger class with a gloom stalker subclass. The gloom stalker subclass gets to the dread ambusher ability, wherein he gets an attack that deals an extra 1d8 damage in the first round of combat. Aside from this ability, he also gets the umbral shroud that can help him make a surprise attack. I also mixed in 3 levels of fighter class with battle master subclass in this build to further increase that initial burst damage he gets from the surprise round. I gave up 2d6 of sneak attack damage for 2 more attacks in the surprise round through the action surge ability of the fighter plus 1d8 superiority dice of the battle master subclass. So that was the assassin build. Now to make it venomous, let's talk about gear and equipment. To make our assassin venomous, we'll let him equip with the following gears. What is nice about this build is that you can get them mostly during Act 2. First is the Amulet of Brood Mother's Revenge. This amulet will give the assassin the venomous revenge whenever the wearer is healed. Their weapon becomes coated in magic and deals an additional 1d6 poison damage. This synergizes well with Astarion's Vampire Bite. The target takes 2d4 piercing damage, and if the target is humanoid, Astarion becomes happy and the target becomes bloodless. Happy condition gives Astarion +1 to all attack rolls, saving throws, and most ability checks. Bloodless gives the creature a -1 penalty to all attack rolls, saving throws, and most ability checks. 2 Thorn Blades. The Venomous Assassin is going to wield 2 Thorn Blades. While concentrating, his melee weapon attacks deals an additional 1d4 poison damage. The wielder also gets Ensnaring Strike, which recharges after a long rest. You can buy this weapon from Daemon in Act 2 at the Last Light Inn. You can buy Thorn Blade one at a time. After buying Thorn Blade for the first time, make a long rest to restock Daemon's items. Poisoner's Gloves. It gives the assassin the Envenom ability. Whenever he deals poison damage, the target needs to succeed a Constitution saving throw or become poisoned. You can find this item inside the chest at the back end of the House of Healing. And the Derivation Cloak. The cloak heals the wearer for 1d4 hit points when they poison a foe. This synergizes well with the Brood Mother's Revenge, as this can also trigger the Venomous Revenge. The rest of the item is up to you. Since we are building this character as a dual wielder and a striker, I suggest giving him items that increase his damage output. Build. In the character creation, you may choose whatever race you want. If ever you want an optimized build, Half-Orc is the best choice for me, as they can add another dice for your critical hit roll. Half-Orcs would get an insane amount of burst damage during the surprise round. Other races that are good for this build are the Wood Elf, for those additional movement speed, and the Duergar for the invisibility spell they can gain at character level 5. But in my case, I use Astarion for this build as my main character. For level 1, I suggest you choose the Rogue class. This would give you a good number of skills. I would recommend dual wield this character immediately to compensate for his attacks, as he will be a level late in getting his extra attack feature. However, if you do not mind getting those many skills, you can just immediately go to the Ranger class and be able to get the extra attack feature at character level 5. If ever you are using a custom character, Urchin or Criminal is a good choice for the background. For the abilities, make his Dexterity 16, Constitution 14, Wisdom 14, and Charisma 14. If you do not plan to make this character the face of your party, you can boost up your Wisdom to 16 and reduce your Charisma accordingly. As for your skills, you can choose whatever you need. At character level 2, he goes for the Ranger class. You can choose any for the favored enemy. As for my case, I choose Bounty Hunter. This would give your target a disadvantage on their saving throw, as you can cast an ensnaring strike against them. Then choose Wasteland Wanderer Poison for the Natural Explorer feature for lore purposes. But you can choose any if you want. This would give the assassin poison resistance. At character level 3, he is now a level 2 ranger. Choose 2 weapon fighting for his fighting style. This will make him add the ability score modifier to the damage of his offhand attack, as in our case, the dexterity modifier. For his spells, choose Hunter's Mark and Longstrider. At character level 4, he now gets to choose a subclass. For his subclass, choose GLOOM Stalker. This would give him the Dread Ambusher ability, Umbral Shroud, Superior Dark Vision, and Disguise Self. The main feature of the GLOOM Stalker subclass is the Dread Ambusher. This would give the assassin a bonus to initiative equal to his Wisdom modifier. On the first turn of combat, he is also given an additional 3 meters of movement speed. He can also make an additional weapon attack that deals an additional 1d8 damage during his first turn. As for his spell, choose Enhanced Leap. At character level 5, the assassin gets a feat as a level 4 ranger. For his feat, get the Alert ability. This will give the assassin plus 5 to initiative roll, and he can no longer be surprised. This is good for the assassin to make sure he always is the first to attack in combat. At character level 6, he now gets his extra attack as a level 5 ranger. For his spell, choose Pass Without Trace. This would potentially increase your party's chance of making an ambush, as it will give a plus 10 bonus on your stealth checks. I also would want to use this spell as my concentration spell to trigger the poison damage that my assassin has with his Thorn Blades. As a Gloom Stalker, he gets the Misty Step spell. At character level 7, he goes back to Rogue class. He gets the Cunning Action feature of a Rogue. He can now dash, disengage, or hide by using a bonus action instead of the regular action. At character level 8, he now gets a subclass. For his subclass, choose the Assassin. As an Assassin, he gets Assassin's Alacrity and Assassinate. Assassin's Alacrity immediately restores his action and bonus action at the start of combat. The Assassinate ability gives him an automatic critical hit if he hits an enemy during the surprise round. He also gains an advantage on attack rolls against enemies that have not taken a turn in combat. His sneak attack is now 2d6. At character level 9, he gets another feat as a level 4 rogue. Increase his dexterity to 18. By this time, the build is now complete. This is also one thing I like about this build. By Act 2, the build is now complete. The 3 remaining levels are just for flavor. And this is how I added flavor to the assassin build. At character level 10, he goes for the fighter class. As a fighter, he gets the Second Wind ability. He also has a fighting style. For his fighting style, choose Defense. This would increase his AC by 1 while wearing an armor. At character level 11, he is now a level 2 fighter. As a level 2 fighter, he gets Action Surge. I suggest activating his Action Surge during the surprise round for the additional initial damage burst. At character level 12, he now gets to choose a subclass for his fighter class. For his subclass, choose Battle Master. As a Battle Master, you get 4 1d8 superiority dice. For his battle maneuvers, choose Trip Attack, Disarm Attack, and Riposte. Gameplay. As much as possible, you want to surprise your enemy to gain that initial damage burst that the assassin has. Now, how to make enemies surprised. Hide from your enemies before you initiate combat, and then initiate combat by attacking your enemies while hiding. This will give your enemies a surprise status and allow your assassin to deal a ton of damage. Kill as many enemies as you can in the first round, or weaken the strongest enemy for the first round. After the surprise round, do not forget to cast a concentration spell to activate the poison damage of your Thorn Blades. For more poison damage, you can drink a healing potion, or if you are Astarion, bite an enemy with your vampire bite, as this would also trigger Broodmother's Revenge. With Poisoner's Gloves, your assassin has always a chance of giving them a disadvantage every time they fail a Constitution saving throw. If you do not have an advantage over some enemies, prioritize attacking enemies that are adjacent to one of your allies to trigger your sneak attack. So that's about my Venomous Assassin build. And if you're looking for more build ideas, here is a playlist of build ideas for Baldur's Gate 3. See you there! Ciao!